Hey, English learners! Welcome back to the LeapTalk English Podcast, your cozy little place to learn easy English through real, everyday conversations. I'm Mary.
And I'm Albert.
Albert, how are you today? Honestly.
Honestly, a bit much.
A bit much.
Yes. Not one big thing, just everything arriving at the same time and none of it feeling small.
I know that feeling so well.
And the strange part is, when someone asks how I am, I say, fine, just a bit busy. But that doesn't hold what's actually happening at all.
Fine, just a bit busy is doing a lot of work for very little reward.
It's doing all the work and describing none of the situation.
And that is exactly today's topic. Because feeling overwhelmed is one of the most common human experiences. And I'm fine, just busy is almost the only English most learners have for it.
And there is so much more. Richer, more honest, more useful English for the feeling of too much, all at once, with not enough of you to meet it.
That's today's whole episode.
I'm Albert.
I'm Mary, LeapTalk English, B2 level, real conversation. Today, the English of feeling overwhelmed. Word tour at the end, 8 words, and our Say It Better segment, turning flat, closed sentences into something honest and natural.
Like, instead of saying, I'm very busy,
You can say, everything arrived at once and I don't quite have enough of me to meet all of it.
and instead of saying, I'm stressed,
You can say, I'm carrying a lot right now and some of it is heavier than I expected.
if you're learning English with us today, just relax into the conversation. This episode is great for B1 and B2 learners. If you're A2, you can still follow the main idea.
Listen for the feeling, repeat the useful lines, and stay with us.
Mary, I want to start with the word overwhelmed itself, because I think it's one of those words learners know but rarely use naturally.
Say more.
Most learners say, I'm very stressed or I'm very busy, when they actually mean overwhelmed, and those words don't hold the same thing.
What's the difference?
Busy means a lot of tasks. Stressed means pressure around those tasks. But overwhelmed means the volume has exceeded your capacity to process it. You're not just busy, you're at the edge of what you can hold.
At the edge of what you can hold. That's such an honest image.
And the key part of overwhelmed, the thing that makes it different from just busy, is that it often involves not knowing where to start. Not just having too much to do, but losing the ability to sequence it.
The sequencing breaks down.
Yes, when you're busy, you still have a list and you work through it. When you're overwhelmed, the list itself becomes part of the problem.
I had exactly that moment last month. I opened my laptop, looked at everything waiting, and just closed it again.
And what did that feel like?
Like the closing was the only decision I was capable of making at that moment.
The only decision I was capable of making at that moment. That's genuinely C1 level English describing a very B1 feeling.
Let's build that language now. I'm at the edge of what I can hold, when the volume exceeds your capacity. The sequencing has broken down, when you can't find the starting point. The list became part of the problem, when organizing itself becomes overwhelming. The only decision I was capable of, for the moment when even small choices feel too large. 4 phrases, all more honest than I'm very busy.
Stay, because the next part covers something most people never name, what overwhelm actually does to how you think. I want to talk about something that doesn't get discussed enough, what overwhelm does to the brain, in plain, honest English.
Not the scientific version.
Not the scientific version, no. The version you recognize from inside the experience.
Go ahead.
When I'm overwhelmed, my thinking gets narrow, like the peripheral vision goes, but for thoughts. I can only see the thing directly in front of me. Everything else blurs.
Peripheral vision for thoughts. That's vivid.
And the problem with that narrowing is that the thing directly in front of me, the urgent thing, the loudest thing, is often not the most important thing.
It's just the most visible.
Exactly. And so overwhelmed thinking produces overwhelmed decisions. You handle the loudest thing because it's the only thing you can see, and the important thing waits and waits.
And then becomes urgent.
And then becomes urgent and joins the queue of loud things, and the overwhelm deepens.
That loop is so recognizable.
I think naming it makes it slightly less powerful. When I can say, my thinking is narrowing right now, I'm losing the peripheral vision, I can at least recognize what's happening, even if I can't immediately fix it.
Recognition is the first step.
Always. You can't address something you haven't named.
My thinking is narrowing right now. For the moment, peripheral vision for thoughts disappears. I'm handling the loudest thing because it's the only thing I can see, for overwhelmed decision-making. The overwhelm is deepening. for when the loop accelerates. 3 phrases for naming what's happening inside overwhelm. Naming it doesn't solve it, but it makes you the observer of the experience rather than just a person inside it.
Stay, because the next part covers the thing most people do when they're overwhelmed that makes it worse.
The thing most people do when they're overwhelmed that makes it worse. I have a strong feeling I know what you're going to say.
What do you think it is?
They add more. They try to do everything faster rather than doing less more carefully.
Exactly that. The instinct when overwhelmed is to speed up, to try harder, to push through.
When actually, the first useful move is often the opposite.
To slow down enough to see clearly, which feels counterintuitive when everything is pressing.
It feels like the wrong direction.
It does. Slowing down when overwhelmed feels like losing ground, but losing a little ground to regain visibility is almost always worth it.
I had a very specific moment of learning this. I was overwhelmed with a project, genuinely overwhelmed, and a colleague said something I've never forgotten.
What did they say?
They said, "You can't think clearly from inside a running train. Get off for 1 minute."
Get off for 1 minute.
1 minute of complete stop. Not to solve anything, just to get outside the movement long enough to see it.
And did it help?
Enormously. Not because anything changed in the situation, because my relationship to it changed slightly, from inside it to just outside it.
From inside it to just outside it. That's the shift.
And the language for making that shift deliberately, for getting off the running train, is worth knowing precisely.
Yes, because sometimes you need to say it to yourself, and sometimes you need to say it to another person who is trying to help.
I need a moment before I can think clearly about this, claiming the pause before attempting the solution.
Let me step back from this for a second. The deliberate creation of distance.
I can't see clearly from inside this yet. Honest about the current limitation without drama.
Give me until tomorrow morning on this one. Asking for the time to regain perspective overnight, which almost always produces better thinking.
I need a moment before I can think clearly about this. Let me step back for a second. I can't see clearly from inside this yet. Give me until tomorrow morning. 4 phrases for creating the deliberate pause that changes the relationship to overwhelm.
Stay, because the last section covers something that is often the most difficult part of being overwhelmed. Asking for help. Asking for help when overwhelmed. Why is it so hard?
Because when you're overwhelmed, asking for help feels like one more thing to manage.
That's so true. The request itself has energy costs. Explaining the situation, accepting the help gracefully, following up.
And when you're already at the edge of what you can hold,
The request feels like it might tip you over.
so people stay silent and carry more than they should, and the overwhelm deepens.
And I think the reason asking for help when overwhelmed is particularly hard in English, for learners specifically, is that the language for it is quite specific.
It's not just help me.
It's never just help me. It requires some ability to name what's happening, what you need, and what you're able to do yourself.
Which requires exactly the kind of clear thinking that overwhelm takes away.
Exactly the cruel irony of it.
So the phrases need to be simple enough to say when you're not thinking clearly. Ready-made, already there.
Yes, like an emergency kit. Phrases you've practiced before you needed them, so they arrive automatically when you do.
The phrases, "I'm carrying a lot right now. Could you help me with just this one part?" Specific, doesn't ask for everything, just one thing. Much easier for the other person to say yes to.
I'm not at my best today. Could I have a bit more time on this? Honest about the state without oversharing. Asks for something specific and manageable.
I think I need to talk this through with someone. Do you have 10 minutes? The request for thinking partnership rather than solutions.
I don't need you to fix it. I just need to say it out loud. One of the most useful sentences when the help you need is presence, not problem solving. I'm carrying a lot right now. Could you help me with just this one part? I'm not at my best today. Could I have a bit more time? Do you have 10 minutes? I need to think this through. I don't need you to fix it. I just need to say it out loud. 4 phrases for the emergency kit. Learn them before you need them. They will be there when you do.
And now, let's slow down and practice 8 useful words from today's conversation. Our first word is overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed. Overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed means the volume of something has exceeded your capacity to process or manage it. Not just busy, at the edge of what you can hold.
Maybe you want to describe how you're really feeling, beyond "I'm busy."
You could say, I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed right now.
Or maybe you want to name it more precisely.
Then you could say, the volume has exceeded what I can hold at the moment.
Our next word is capacity.
Capacity. Capacity.
Already covered in earlier episodes, returning here because it's the heart of overwhelm. Capacity means the maximum amount you can hold, process, or do at any given moment.
Maybe you've taken on more than you can hold.
You could say, I've exceeded my capacity this week.
Or maybe you're learning to check your capacity before agreeing to things.
Then you could say, I need to be honest about my capacity right now.
Our next word is peripheral.
Peripheral. Peripheral.
Peripheral means at the outer edge, not the center. Peripheral vision is what you see at the sides. When thinking narrows during overwhelm, the peripheral thoughts, the less urgent but often more important ones, disappear.
Maybe you've noticed your thinking getting narrow under pressure.
You could say, I'm losing the peripheral vision for my thoughts.
Or maybe you're trying to widen your view deliberately.
Then you could say, I need to get some peripheral thinking back before I decide.
Our next word is sequence.
Sequence. Sequence.
A sequence is a series of things in a specific order. When overwhelm breaks down your sequencing, you lose the ability to decide what to do first.
Maybe the list itself has become part of the problem.
You could say, I can't sequence this right now. I don't know where to start.
Or maybe you're regaining the ability to order things.
Then you could say, I'm slowly getting the sequencing back.
Our next word is perspective.
Perspective. Perspective.
Perspective means the ability to see a situation clearly in its proper proportion. Overwhelm shrinks perspective. Stepping back, getting off the running train, restores it.
Maybe you've lost your perspective temporarily.
You could say, I need a bit of distance to get my perspective back.
Or maybe a night's sleep or a short pause helped.
Then you could say, I have more perspective on this today than I did yesterday.
Our next word is deliberate.
Deliberate. Deliberate.
Deliberate means done consciously and intentionally as a chosen act rather than a reflex. The pause, stepping back from overwhelm, works only when it's deliberate.
Maybe you're learning to pause on purpose rather than just waiting to crash.
You could say, I'm trying to make the pause deliberate rather than waiting until I break.
Or maybe you've started building deliberate rest into your week.
Then you could say, the deliberate stop is becoming a habit.
Our next word is presence.
Presence.
Presence. Already covered. Returning here because in the context of asking for help, presence is often more useful than solutions. I don't need you to fix it. I just need you to be present. Is a genuinely important distinction.
Maybe what you need when overwhelmed is company, not answers.
You could say, I just need your presence right now, not your advice.
Or maybe you're learning to offer presence to others when they're overwhelmed.
Then you could say, I try to offer presence rather than solutions.
And our final word is restore.
Restore. Restore.
To restore means to bring something back to its original condition. When overwhelm takes your clarity, your perspective, your sequencing, the work of recovery is restoration.
Maybe you're in the process of recovering from a difficult period.
You could say, I'm slowly restoring my perspective.
Or maybe rest was the thing that helped most.
Then you could say, one night of proper rest restored more than a day of pushing through.
Beautiful.
Today we learned 8 useful words: overwhelmed, capacity, peripheral, sequence, perspective, deliberate, presence, and restore. Try to use one of these words the next time you want to describe feeling overwhelmed, or the next time you're helping someone else who is. Now let's take a few simple sentences and say them better.
Let's start with a very common one. I'm very stressed.
The feeling is real. The sentence is very flat.
You can say, I'm carrying a lot right now, and some of it is heavier than I expected.
Or the volume has exceeded what I can comfortably hold at the moment.
That's honest and specific.
Here's one. I'm very busy.
Almost everyone says this. Almost nobody means only this.
You could say, everything arrived at once and I don't quite have enough of me to meet all of it.
Or, I'm at the edge of what I can hold this week.
What about this one? I don't know what to do.
Very real moment of overwhelm.
A smoother version is, the sequencing has broken down. I've lost the starting point.
Or, I can't see clearly from inside this yet. I need a moment.
Strong and honest.
Here's another. I need help.
True and important, and still worth making more specific.
You can say, I'm carrying a lot right now. Could you help me with just this one part?
Or, I don't need you to fix it. I just need to say it out loud.
One more. I'm tired.
Almost always means more than tired.
A more specific version is, I think what I need is to restore some perspective before I try to do anything else.
Or, I need a deliberate stop. Not a crash, a real pause.
That is the heart of today's episode.
You were never just busy. You were at the edge of what you can hold. And now you have the English for that.
So now we want to hear from you.
What is one thing you are carrying right now that you haven't named out loud yet?
Name it in the comments. In English, even one sentence. We are reading every single one.
Try to use one word from today's word tour. Overwhelmed, capacity, peripheral, sequence, perspective, deliberate, presence, or restore.
Thank you for learning with us today.
Keep practicing. Take care and give yourself the deliberate pause before you need to crash.
Bye for now.
Bye.